All right, everybody, buckle up because we are diving into some seriously wild weather today.
Sounds intriguing. I'm ready.
We're talking about cloud seeding, hurricanes, and a theory about a man-made hurricane.
Oh, wow. Okay, I think I know where this is going.
Yeah, it's one of those that makes you scratch your head a little bit. Before we get into the whole can humans actually control hurricanes thing, let's break down the science of cloud seeding. So, what is cloud seeding? I mean, it sounds kind of like something out of a movie, right? Like, are we talking about making it rain on command?
Well, it's not that far off from what you see in the movies, actually. In simple terms, cloud seeding is a weather modification technique that essentially tries to enhance precipitation, making it rain or snow.
Okay, so how does it work?
So you've got these clouds, right? And sometimes these clouds have the potential to release rain or snow, but they just need a little extra something to get going.
Okay, like a little nudge.
Yeah, exactly, like a little nudge. So that's where cloud seeding comes in. What we do is we introduce these tiny particles, often silver iodide, into the clouds. Silver iodide kind of acts like ice nuclei, those little starting points that snowflakes need to form.
Interesting. So you're basically tricking the cloud into thinking there's more moisture than there actually is.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, it's a bit more complicated than that. But basically, these silver iodide particles provide a surface for the water vapor in the cloud to condense around. And when enough condensation happens, you get precipitation, just like that.
That is so cool. So it's like we're giving Mother Nature a helping hand to do what she already does.
Exactly. Cloud seeding isn't about creating clouds out of thin air. That's not how it works. It's about taking existing clouds that have the potential to produce precipitation and just kind of like nudging them along a little bit, giving them a little boost.
And what are some of the ways cloud seeding is being used today? Because, when I first heard about it, I thought it was all about making it rain in the desert or something.
It's used for a whole bunch of different purposes, actually. One of the big ones is increasing water supply, especially in areas that are prone to droughts. We're talking about using cloud seeding to help fill reservoirs and provide much-needed water resources. And then there's hail suppression, which is a big deal for farmers.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the damage hail can do to crops?
I can't say that I have, no, but it sounds devastating.
It can be, for sure. But yeah, cloud seeding can help reduce the size of hailstones so they cause less damage when they fall. And then you've got some more, let's say, recreational uses, like enhancing snowfall for ski resorts.
Oh, right. I did read about that. That one seems like a win-win, right? More snow for skiers and more business for the resorts.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay, cloud seeding is this surprisingly common technology, right? That can actually influence weather patterns. And I know this is where we need to address the elephant in the room, right? This whole idea about a man-made hurricane.
Right, yeah. The idea that somehow we've got the power to whip up a hurricane just like that, like in a lab or something. It's just, well, it's not really based in reality.
Right. So where does the science not add up here?
Well, you see, hurricanes are these massive, complex weather systems fueled by things like warm ocean water, moisture, and this whole unstable atmosphere situation. I mean, we're talking about forces of nature that are just mind-blowingly powerful, way beyond anything we can even begin to control with cloud seeding. It's just not possible.
So are you saying that the energy involved in a hurricane is just on a completely different level compared to what we can influence with cloud seeding?
Oh, absolutely. It's night and day, really. It's kind of like comparing, I don't know, like a garden hose to a fire hydrant. They both involve water, but the scale and intensity are just, well, they're not even in the same ballpark.
So it's like we can maybe persuade a cloud to release a little more rain.
Yeah.
But we can't just conjure a hurricane out of thin air, right?
Right. I mean, think about the logistics of trying to control something as massive and powerful as a hurricane. We're talking about a storm that can span hundreds of miles across, with winds reaching well over 100 miles per hour. It's just not feasible. And honestly, the idea that we could manipulate something like that for, let's say, political gain, I mean, that just adds a whole other layer of, well, improbability.
Yeah. It's pretty clear that we're dealing with a conspiracy theory here. But here's the thing. Why do you think these kinds of theories pop up in the first place, even when the science doesn't back them up? I mean, what is it about these ideas that captures people's imaginations, especially when it comes to weather?
Well, you've got to remember that weather events, especially extreme ones like hurricanes, can be incredibly scary and unpredictable, right? Mm-hmm. And when people are scared or feel like things are outside of their control, they tend to look for explanations.
So you think it's like a way of trying to make sense of these really powerful natural phenomena that we just don't fully understand or can't really control.
Exactly. And in that search for answers, sometimes the simplest or the most dramatic explanation, even if it's not exactly grounded in reality, it just kind of sticks with people. And with the internet and social media, well, let's just say it's a lot easier for misinformation to spread these days.
That's a good point. But I guess that's also why we're here, right? To kind of cut through the noise and look at things with a critical eye. So to wrap this up, when you hear about some wild weather event and some even wilder theories start popping up, just remember what we've talked about here today. Remember the science and think critically. Question the source, consider the motivation behind it, and don't just believe everything you read, especially when it comes to something as complex and powerful as a hurricane.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Until next time.